Well, good evening, gentlemen, ladies, whoever may be watching, or whatever time you may be watching, morning, noon, night. It's evening for me. I put in a good long day at work, and it's kind of a dark day for American history. I really don't want to make this a political channel, but about all I'm going to say is justice for Charlie Kirk. He was a true patriot, true American, and some coward decided that they couldn't out debate him or prove him wrong on his ideals and decided to take his life, and it's sad. Very, very sad. It's I don't know how else to put this, but I just hope something good comes out of it. And I hope we can carry on Charlie's legacy. But anyways, that's not what this channel's actually about. Today's Wood Wednesdays, guys, and as promised before, I'd talked about a certain case knife that I'd picked up the other day that I was pretty excited about, and I'm super excited to share with you guys. Might not mean much to you, but it means a lot to me. I would call this a Coke bottle folding hunter. I know cases got their own name for it, but C61050 SAB Saber Grind, and I love them Saber Grind cases. They are just heavy duty. When it comes to a case knife, those Saber Grind blades just do it for me. I don't know about y'all. But this is jigged wood. Looks like rosewood, might be walnut. I'm not 100% sure. But guys, the condition this thing is in, other than a little bit of scratching on the bolsters, which back in this day, these come in them, what they call, pumpkin seed boxes. They come 5 or 6 in a box, so part of that scratching could just be from the original packaging. But guys, that is a 1977 case Coke bottle, and it is immaculate. There ain't a spot of rust, ain't a spot of carbon, ain't no scratches from sharpening. It is just a beautiful knife to be from 1977. This is one I'm definitely not going to over oil. One I'm definitely going to keep all the fingerprints off of, and it's going to stay wrapped, because I don't think I can find an example this nice ever again. I mean, it's possible, but I highly doubt it. And man, I was super excited when I seen it. Just a gorgeous knife. What would it be, 48 years old? I'd say it aged very well. Now, the pawn shop I got this from, I tried to wheel and deal on it a little bit, but the lady said she couldn't come off the price, and this come from the owner of the pawn shop's personal collection, and I guess he had recently passed away within the last year or so. So that kind of made it that much more, have that much more of a cool factor. But like I said, other than these light scuffs and those bolsters, fellas, I don't mean to steal somebody's trademark, but it don't get no better than that. Look at the belly of that knife. This does have a pinned on shield, in case y'all are wondering. It's hard to relay that on the camera, but that is a pinned case shield. Shortly after this is when they kind of started doing both, you know, pinning and gluing, depending on the models, but this one is pinned. Y'all hear that? This is probably, I hate to say my favorite, but it's definitely top 10 in the collection. Y'all hear that? That's what I'm talking about. Man, and like I said before, I could not walk away from that. Super stoked about that one. I gotta wipe that all down before I roll it back up. But I did a little more antiquing the other day, and I figured might as well let y'all see that too. We'll start out from leastest to greatest. I don't know why I had to get this one. I just thought it was neat. It's not a super high quality piece or anything, but it looks similar to some old Camillus and old Navy knives, but it's a Yachtsman Special Am Cutco stainless steel, Japan. It's kind of a cheaper knife, but I just really like that pattern. I like the old rope knife patterns, the Yachtsman's patterns, Marlin Spike patterns. They're just interesting to me. So, on the same note, I found this little gem. Camillus Stainless USA Marlin Spike knife. It's pretty scuffed up. Whoever was sharpening it didn't do the best job in the world, but the sheep foot blade, still pretty full. And it is got quite a bit of snap on the blade. And the Marlin Spike, whoo son. Lock and lever, everything works good. I have a few of these Marlin Spike patterns. Not really useful for my EDC, which I guess they could be. I don't carry them, but they're just cool. I don't know. Y'all might figure this out sooner than later, but I don't find many knives that aren't cool to me. That's what I'm talking about. And I found another nice little Camillus Trapper. I think a 14. No, 35. 35 pattern, and it pretty well had factory grease along the blades that I kind of wiped off with my shirt. And kind of typical to the yellow synthetic, this one has pin cracks, just like many of the case knives on that front pin north of the shield there. But it just pretty well has handling marks. It, like I said, it had factory oil all over the blades. It's a really clean example. Pin cracks or not, it's a pretty sweet piece. Long line. And I grabbed a couple of fixed blades. Uncle Henry Golden Spike. Now, the knife in the box was not even in the same display case. I had to point out to the owner that that box goes to that knife. There's little charade paperwork in there. I don't know if that was original to this knife or not, because it's mainly showing, yeah, look, LB1. Honestly, that paperwork probably went to this really clean little charade sheath that I picked up at the same shop. But the little Golden Spike is in pretty good condition. It's missing the wet rock. The sheath looks like it might have been carried a little bit, and the knife looks like it's probably sharpened a couple of times, but still overall Schrade Super Sharp 153 UH. Somebody's initials got dremelled in there or scratched in there. BT. Still, for the condition with the box, I think I got a pretty good deal on it. Still got some of that old green brass corrosion on it, crud. One of these days I'm gonna look up the name for that and remind myself of it. I ain't got around to really cleaning on these, but still, really nice charade. Having the box makes it that much more cool. I'm gonna have to slide a wet rock in that pouch and clean it up like it deserves. And last but not least, I think this is my coolest find out of all of it. Stag handle knife. You can probably already decipher it's made in Germany. Fred Mack, Overland, Solingen, Germany. Now I'm pretty sure they were just, oh well, genuine Fred Mack. Pretty sure Fred Mack was just an importer based out of Los Angeles. And Levine's dates on 1952. Going says 51 to 53. So there's a very short window there where you can be pretty certain that this knife come from 51, 52, or 53. Sheath is excellent, except for it's starting to tear right there by that snap. Knife is excellent, unused. Got some of that old green stuff on there that we all like to see. Overland, Solingen, Germany. The only flaw I've found on this, now this one is pinned, you know, these are two slabs of stag and they're pinned, which effectively creates rivets to hold them this way to the rat tail tang, and they are threaded on the rat tail tang. So this has two forms of securement on the handle. Pretty well brass pinned, riveted, and tightened down with a bolster nut. Or pommel nut, I should say, not bolster. The flaw that I did find was right there. I think that's from the factory. I think they drilled into it and hit part of the tang. This probably has a skeleton tang, like a Western. When you shine a light down in there, you can see the edge of that skeleton tang. So whoever was assembling this drilled in there, clipped part of the tang, and said, "Oh crap," and they scooted over and put the pin in where it didn't hit the tang. It's an imperfection, but I think it's cool. Shows that everybody's human. People make mistakes. I know I do. But still, for a knife from the 51 to 53 era, man, what a piece. Especially with the sheath. I still, like I said, need to polish all these up, get all the corrosion off of them, but I thought this was a heck of a haul. Anyways, guys, there's Wood Wednesday. I kind of got a little lengthy on it, a little breathy, and a little political. You'll have to forgive me about it, but man, I'm all about this country. I'm all about us being prosperous. I'm all about us being free. I'm all about us having rights, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, the right to collect knives. I mean, the right to debate and talk about what's right and what's wrong. And it's common sense. And the death of Charlie Kirk just kind of hurt me today. But anyways, guys, I won't dwell on it any longer. I'll let you get back to your evening. This is Hillbilly Proud. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all have a good one.